It's not fair that we've laughed together, yet you hide your tears from me. Let that land. Because for most of us, this sentence holds a quiet truth that we never said out loud. We share our jokes, our memories, our wins, our highlights. But when life gets heavy, sometimes we hide from the people that we've shared everything with. And so many people believe this. I don't want to bother them. I don't want to make them sad too. They already have enough on their plate. I'll deal with it myself. And on the surface, that sounds kind. It sounds considerate. It even sounds strong. But underneath it, it's often fear wearing a polite disguise. There's this amazing content creator on social media. And I love it when he said, "How dare you? How dare you rip me off of the incredible honor of sharing space when you're hurting? How dare you?" Now, I don't want to make people feel guilty for that, but I'm just saying it's like, in my space, I feel like it's a safe space. And I feel like some people feel safe letting things go. And I feel like maybe I've finally created a space where people can come and be with what they are. And I really hope they do. You know, there's this thing we forget about connection. And here's what we forget. The people in your life don't just want your laughter. They want you. They want all of you. They want your joy. They want your fear. They want the grief. They want the confusion. They want the hope. They want the whole mess. They want the highs, the lows, the in-betweens. Because life is not a highlight reel. It's just not. It's a full of range of fears. Joy shared is doubled. Joy doubled. Joy shared is joy doubled. Sorrow shared is sorrow halved. It's a Swedish proverb. So, why do we hide our tears? And yeah, I'm this too. Like at times there's like, I have a whole lot of reasons why I hide this. But let's be honest. Why don't we lean in? The truth is, we don't want to be a burden. Sometimes we don't want to be seen as weak. I grew up in toxic masculinity where big boys don't cry. Stop crying or I'll give you something to cry about. You were ostracized if you showed emotion. Sometimes we don't want to be a downer. We don't want to ruin the mood. This is me a lot. And I'm afraid of being too much. Maybe a lot of us are. Or dramatic, or over-emotional, and sometimes we just don't know how to ask. And, either purposefully or accidentally, we're all taught we need to handle things alone. But honestly, strength is not silence. And independence doesn't mean isolation. And humility is not weak. So we sit around and we avoid this gentle truth, right? When you don't let people show up for you, you rob them of meaning. Just like that content creator. How dare you rip me off of the awesome responsibility of being there for you in your hardest moments. We forget this because we're focused on protecting them from discomfort. And you ever notice that, some people totally understandably are not comfortable around big emotion because you don't want people to feel so much. And more than likely, that's because you've been through some feels that were so big that, you know, you were afraid if you actually let these out, that there would be an endless sea of emotion pouring out of you, something you could never stop. So you try to hold it in and you try to help other people hold it together. But honestly, sometimes the only way to get past life is to fall apart. And the truth is, like I said, we're just protecting ourselves from vulnerability. When I found the space to start letting out the emotion that was in me, first it was the anger and then it was the sadness. I honestly felt like it would be never ending. Like there was a endless sea of sadness in me. And yeah, I had to develop ways to manage. I developed a little on and off tap. So when I was safe and I had time and was in a good place, that I would crack open the tap and let some out. Sometimes I couldn't let a lot out. It was just a little, but eventually I let it all out. Brene Brown said it best when she said, vulnerability is not weakness. It's our greatest measure of courage, right? Vulnerability, humility. It's like we have it backwards in this world. We say like openly expressing these things is weakness. Being vulnerable is weakness. No, it's strength because it's not easy to do. So what does like kind of biology or physiology say about helping others? Let's talk about this. It's kind of fascinating. When we help somebody, when we support somebody, or when we show up, our brains will release dopamine, oxytocin, and serotonin. Literally all the feel-good stuffs. And have you noticed that when you can really be there for a friend that you really care about, that you're left feeling more at peace, more calm, more joy after sharing pain? I mean, it doesn't really make sense, but it does. These are the same chemicals that are linked to joy, connection, and purpose. Helping others does not drain us. It fulfills us. So when you hide your pain, you're not sparing your friends. You're denying them a chance to feel useful, connected, and meaningful. Think about that. Sharing your pain and your vulnerability is giving a gift to your friends. So why are we so generous with all the things that are going great and stingy with our pain? It is interesting. Like we will share our joy, social media, everything. There are a few people that share their pain, which is really beautiful. Especially athletes. It's amazing when athletes share how they really feel about their bad days. Like, honestly, it's not all a highlight reel. It's like, this is real. This is how life is sometimes. Life doesn't work out. But that doesn't mean I'm quitting. It just means that this is a hard moment. We share good news instantly and we celebrate openly. But then we become stingy with our tears. It's almost like we're saying they don't need this. I'll just pretend I'm okay. I don't want to bring the energy down. But real connection isn't built and it isn't sustainable when it's only built on consistent happiness, because that is hard to keep going. Real connection is built on honesty. So what do you think your friends actually want? And a few people lean into fixing, right? But, most of the people, they don't want to fix you. They want to sit with you. They want to listen. They want to be trusted. They want to be chosen. They want to feel close, connection. They want to make a difference. One of my favorite quotes, I don't even know who said it, is if you can't see the light, I will sit with you in the darkness. And think about this quote as well. To be trusted is a greater compliment than to be loved. Letting someone in on the tough moments says, I trust you with my real life. There's a depth that only hard times can create. Think about your deepest friendships. They weren't built on laughter. Not just on laughter. And there was some of that. And that's important too. But they were really built on late night talks, the hard seasons, moments of honesty, shared pain. Just mutual showing up. Hard times don't weaken your friendships, no matter what you've been told or what's been implied to you by life or what your internal critic says. Hard times deepen relationship. Now there's this myth about doing it alone. I remember this quote that said, if you want to do it fast, do it alone. If you want to do it well, do it with others. And it's interesting. It's like, I really believe this is the internal critic, the ego, the sense of identity, this me, my, I, that creates kind of this thought process that we are completely separate and that we need to, the only way to accomplish this life is alone. And maybe it's just me, but I feel like a lot of people feel alone. And somewhere along the way, many of us learned that needing others meant failure. And the saddest part is that's probably because they reached out and looked for support and it wasn't there, or it was denied, or they were told no. And maybe they gave up. But like, honestly, you got to find your people. You got to find the people who can rewire that for you. Because like, we are wired for connection. We heal in relationship, we grow in relationship, and we survive in relationship. And we wither without. We're not meant to be strong alone. We are meant to be honest together. So what does this leaning in thing, like, a lot of times I say lean into this, lean into that. Leaning into your people doesn't mean trauma dumping, right? Just like, rah, 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 the whole bit. It can be simple. You can simply say, I'm having a hard week. There was this story, the same person I was telling you about, the content creator on social media who said, how dare you deny me the awesome responsibility of holding you in those moments? He also talked about this thing. He's like, one of his friends called him up and said this, like, he hadn't heard from her in a while or something like that. And like, how are you? And she said, well, I wasn't doing well. And he's like, why didn't you reach out to me? She said, I did. And he looked back and all the communications were like minor. It didn't really give the idea of what was going on. So between the two of them, they came up with this code word. And it came out of this truth that I can't remember how many minutes, was say 8 minutes. And it said 8 minutes with somebody, like, of clear communication, a presence with another person will basically help you make it through. And so in the future, between the two of them, they had this communication. And if things were really going bad, All they had to do was, say to each other, do you have 8 minutes? You could just communicate that with your friends when you're having a tough time. The people you trust, the people you can be vulnerable with. Or you can just say, can I talk for a minute? Be clear. If you don't need advice, just say, hey, I don't need advice. I just need somebody to hold space, to listen. Or you can just say, hey, I'm not okay today. And it's not weakness, it's clarity, and it sets up expectation. It's like I say in my work, if somebody says they're having a hard day, my demeanor shifts. I'm there 100% present. Most of the time, it's laughing, fun. But when somebody's really having a hard time, you want to see me 100% present. That's when I am. And think about this. Letting other people feel good too. Now here's a reframe that changes everything. When you allow someone the awesome responsibility of supporting you, you are giving them a gift. You're giving them purpose. You're giving them connection. You're giving them meaning. You're giving them the chance to contribute. You're giving them belonging. You're giving them the understanding that you trust them with the hardest moments of your life. Don't rip them off that feeling. Allow them to have it. I'm sure you felt it at times. When somebody you really cared about was having a tough time and you were there for them. 100%. And later on, you just felt really good about yourself. And you felt like you made a difference in the world. It's like your existence had meaning for a moment. What if the next time you struggle, instead of pulling away, just think about this, what if you leaned in? What if you contacted your people and you trusted that they were strong enough to hold space, to hold you in the hardest moments? Because the truth is, you're a pretty smart person and you choose your people wisely, right? And you know who they are and you know why you picked them for your life. And what if you leaned into vulnerability? And what if you allowed yourself to be loved in real time? Not just an idea or a thought, but in real time. And not just when you're okay again, but in the muck. Think about it. We don't laugh alone. We share the greatest moments of our lives and we cheer on the people we love. We share all those wins. So why do we cry alone? Why don't we share those moments too? Why don't we share the tough times, the hard moments? Why is our generosity limited to the feel-goods and so lacking in the feel-bads? Because, I've heard people are interesting. They sometimes, not everyone, maybe you're not this, but I think some of us are like this. And I was at one point. I believed that life was supposed to be monotone. It's like you just like this incredible balance of emotion, never feeling too much good, never feeling too little bad. But the truth is, life is a full range of emotions. There's incredible highs and there's devastating lows. And the truth is, the more we are open and share the range of our life with others, the more we give them the permission to do the same. Because, maybe the others don't know how. Maybe you can show them. Maybe that's why you're in their life. And the truth is, the more of our life we share with another person who's in our life, the closer our connection becomes. Because why are we here if not for connection? Maybe connection is why we're here. Maybe that's what gives purpose and meaning to our lives. So let your people in. Let them show up. Let them care. And let them help. So finally, if you've ever thought I don't want to be a burden, hear this, okay? You're not a burden. You're not. You're an opportunity for connection. You're an opportunity for meaning. And you're an opportunity for love. And the people who love you, they don't just want your laughter. They want all of you. The people who really love you, the people who really connect with you, they want everything. The good, the bad, the messy, the mundane, the boring. They want it all. They want you all. And it's quite possible that the thought process that's saying it, they don't want it, is your ego, your inner critic, your sense of identity lying to you, saying you're not enough. But you are enough. You are so enough. There has never, ever been anyone on this planet that's more enough than you are. So keep moving forward. Keep leaning in. And keep building your own inner advocate.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Your Inner Advocate, a podcast by Kimen Petersen, formerly Conversations with Kimen. If you found value in today's episode, please follow, like, and share the podcast with someone who you think may benefit from it. You can listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, and connect on Instagram at your_inner_advocate. Until next time, keep listening to and developing your inner advocate.